Welcome to Dark Diaries. Tonight, as the rain taps against your window, we invite you into a tale best told in whispers. A story not meant to terrify, but to curl around your dreams like fog around forgotten graveyards. This is a bedtime horror, not one of blood and gore, but of silence, footsteps, echoes in the rain. So lie down, pull your blanket a little tighter and listen. Tonight's tale is called The Rain Whispers. It was already raining when Mira arrived in the village of Valemore, a forgotten place, cradled in the hollow of mossy hills and hidden beneath a sky that always looked like twilight. The taxi had left her at the rusted iron gate of Greystone Manor, a towering house veiled in ivy and secrets. Her boots sank into the mud as she walked up the gravel path. The rain was persistent, like it didn't want her to arrive, or didn't want her to leave. Inside the manor it smelled of damp wood, old books, and something else she couldn't name. She was here to catalogue a deceased collector's library for the university. An easy assignment, a few days alone with old books and tea. But the house wasn't empty. That first night, while she was unpacking in the guest room, Mira heard it. A whisper, not a voice she recognized, and not her own. She's here. She turned sharply. No one. Outside, the rain continued its lullaby, trickling down the glass. The next day, Mira explored the library, a grand hall of shelves, all of them heaving with tomes bound in cracked leather. A spiral staircase hugged the walls, leading up into a shadowed gallery. The house creaked as if it breathed. She found a strange book sitting alone on a desk. No title, no author. Its pages were yellowed, its contents odd. Handwritten notes lined the margins. The girl sees more than she should. The rain feeds the voices. That night the whispers returned, louder. She opened the book. She woke them. She dreamed of the staircase bleeding, of rain seeping from the ceiling, and of something watching her from the end of the hallway. Too tall to be a man. Mira began to hear movement in the walls, scratching. No, not rats. Too slow. Something with hands, fingernails. She placed her ear to the wall. There was whispering again. Not just one voice now, but many, layered, male and female, children and elders, all murmuring in a cold, rhythmic chant. The rain, the rain, the rain. She followed the sound to the far wing of the house, the parts sealed off by rotten boards and chains. She broke them open. Inside was a room unlike any other. No dust, no age, fresh, preserved. In the center stood a chair, and above it a hook, stained dark. The wallpaper was covered in names. One of them was hers. Mira found a journal beneath a loose floorboard in the sealed room. It belonged to Dr. Everett Wyndham, the man who once owned the manor. I built Greystone on cursed land. There was no way to know until the rain began. The rain that never ends, never leaves. It isn't water, it's memory, and it feeds on pain. He wrote of visitors, people who came to work, to study, to clean, and vanished. Their names always appeared on the wall days later, one by one. He warned, do not speak with the rain, do not listen to the walls, and above all, do not stay past the third night. Mira checked the calendar. It was the third night. Mira couldn't sleep. The whispering had become singing. Come with us, we remember you. She stepped into the hallway and saw water dripping from the ceiling, but there was no leak. It wasn't falling, it was rising, floating upward. She heard footsteps, slow, wet. From the shadows came a tall, pale figure, skin grey as mist, no eyes, just empty sockets dripping water. It smiled and whispered, in Mira's own voice, "You've always lived here." She ran. Part 6. The truth under Greystone. Don't pause. Let the climax build. Narration urgent but whispered. Down in the cellar, Mira found a stone door. Behind it, tunnels, and beneath those tunnels, water, black, bottomless, and silent. And in it, faces. They were looking up, waiting. Some were smiling, some were still whispering. She found us. She's next. A figure rose from the water, dripping, tall, ancient, and it whispered with the voice of every soul Mira had ever known. Join the rain. Mira woke in her bed. Sunlight, number just a trick of the rain light outside. Grey as always. The calendar now said day 4, but she was sure. It had only been 3. Her name was no longer just on the wall, it was on the ceiling, on the pages of every book, whispered by the house. She tried to leave. The gates were gone. The path, swallowed by fog. The rain, now inside the manor too, dripping from chandeliers, rising from floorboards. Mira stared into a mirror and didn't see herself. The face staring back smiled and said, "We'll tell your story now."
Greystone Manor still stands. The rain never stops, and if you listen carefully, you can still hear Mira's voice. She's part of the house now, a whisper in the wallpaper, a figure behind the fogged glass. She reads to the others, she warns newcomers, but no one listens. Just like you didn't. Did you hear that? Outside your window. It's raining, isn't it? Maybe the story has already started for you too. Thank you for listening to Dark Diaries. If you dream tonight, may it be of empty hallways, whispering walls, and rain that remembers your name. Good night, and don't forget to lock the door.